So I don't know how my microphone is going to sound on this. I know that my PC mic is not that great, so my voice tends to be a little quiet. I turned down the main volume of the games and stuff, but this is going to be a review of a game that I grew up with that I really love. It's called Stronghold, and it's from Strategic Simulations Incorporated, or SSI, and it's a advanced Dungeons & Dragons city builder with some mild RPG elements. So you just build your kingdom, expand your kingdom, and fight off the evil Mindark. And it's just a great little game. I played it as a kid. I don't remember all the intricacies of the systems of the game and how they all work, but I know it is a city building game and there's some city management and stuff to it. But there are also monster kingdoms in the game, and they can range from unintelligent to intelligent monsters, and there's just a lot of stuff to it for how simple of a game it is. At least it feels like a lot of stuff to me. But anyway, you can start your game off, and there is this, which I apparently have to pause because I forget that the manual is no longer available, at least for many people, but there is a PDF of all the keywords and what page it would be on and what the word is, so now I have to pause and fix this. Well, you can actually see that available on Good Old Games on their GOG Galaxy launcher, you can actually get the files you need that'll tell you the keywords. Now, actually, if you go to the manual, which you download, it said page 2, line 1, which is choose. So that should be what we have to enter. There you go. There's an already established city that's available. Otherwise, there's 5 worlds that are also pre-rendered, and then a random world generator. I don't really think it matters too much, but you can choose the hostility level of the enemies in the game, from peaceful all the way to hostile, and then custom. And as a kid, I would always put like the max amount of enemies in the game and all that, and eventually there is so much on the screen, the game didn't generate much more, so your village just stopped expanding villagers until some died, etc., etc. But we'll do a hostile world because this is just going to be a game review and not really anything special. But you begin your So you begin your game first by choosing your Baron or Baroness, and they are going to be your main stronghold, your big one, that if it falls, it dies. I think you can have up to 4 or 5. I like to build on a nice flat plane because it lets me see what I'm doing. And so you can, like a D&D game, you would pick your class. I'll do fighter, and I want a higher strength. So I'd raise a primary ability, I'll raise my strength at the expense of wisdom, and then accept that. Maybe I'd do it again, go to 18. Yeah. Alright, so I will be neutral. So you destroy all enemies and achieve the rank of Emperor. So that would be what I would do. Start my name, keep, and place, and then boom, you have your kingdom. Now you get some people that you can mess with. You can put them as home, which means they will stay in this field that you are currently in. Unassigned means they will kind of just wander on their own. Computer will choose what to do with them. They tend to go places and build without asking and things, so I like to ready them up. Ready is different because they will wait for you to issue a command. And each unit has their own experience, their own level, their own hit points, and things like that. So now that you got your kingdom, there's no more space to build here because your stronghold is going to take up all the area, so you begin to expand. And using this triangle, you can manage your kingdom a little bit with what you want to focus on: more building, more training, more recruiting, and then you can get into in-depth stuff like just more detail about your... Yeah, I have no city blocks. I promote when my popularity gets 55%. You have different levels, and different levels unlock different buildings and different abilities, and your units can actually level up and become a higher class. So you can, it tells you how many possible people you have ready and stuff, and when you get them here, you can set them at home. You can claim trees. You can claim them. Claim trees is how you get income. or you can chop them down and get gold too. But then you can build different buildings, housing. You want to provide housing for your people, obviously, and then there's farmland. And there's also various other buildings and stuff, but you like to start expanding your kingdom, get it going, and then once it starts to, I guess not really stagnate, but once it slows down a little bit, or you can just build all your other kingdoms right away, it doesn't really matter. I like to just expand until I'm kind of spent on units. If you press the space bar, time passes faster. So swamps are just an obstacle. You fill them in. It takes a while to fill them in. Housing has to be placed on mostly level ground. Farmland can be placed on even extreme heights and stuff. Oh, this is a nice... Then, over time, your buildings get built. You don't really have much gold right in the beginning, so... Another thing you can do with buildings eventually, as they get built, is you can upgrade them, which will provide more stuff. So, 2 people and storage for 18 food. Buildings will fall into disrepair if you are not making enough income, eventually just falling apart and being destroyed. Each different class in the game has a different specialty. You can create more. I also like to have mages, just because mages are cool. This is a really terrible role. I will expend... Yikes. That's not a great mage. I am going to probably regret this. No. Wizbo Spellbanger. That's my Harry Potter wizard name. So, I'm stuck with him. I should have actually looked at my stats before I created him as a mage. Mages are some of my favorite units in the game. When you build your secondary stronghold, it has a little bit of a smaller footprint, so you have more to expand out. That is rock. There are several rocks in the game. They have a chance to produce a mine. So what you want to do is send a unit there to mine them, but different units have higher chances of creating mines. So get everything going as normal. So I'm actually going to negate the time it takes to build this swamp by building some dwarves. Strength at the expense of intelligence, and strength at the expense of wisdom. That should be okay. Neutral, male. Let's just call him Hulk. Alright, you can be readied up. You can stay here. Dwarves, they don't really care too much about trees and such. Doesn't mean just chop them all down, but... What? Oh, that's the mage. It's Wizbo. Don't even know my own units. But when you come across a boulder or a rock, you have a chance that you can excavate it, and in this case, nothing was found. So that was a bit of a waste. Dwarves are the best at finding mines and stuff. I will also build... Let's see, what else do we have? You can't get too far away, because when you get too far away, you lose sight, and that's where the exploration comes into play. Let's build some elves. And we'll just accept them the way they are. We'll do neutral. And we will pick... what do we got? Let's just name this one, because I'm not feeling very creative right now. I don't know why I just switched those. That's pointless. Elves are great at claiming trees, creating trees and stuff, and if you don't watch them, computer likes to just make the elves make trees for you. Each class also has their own special buildings, which eventually you'll be able to unlock and place. And for a 5th class, what do we want to do? You can build things like towers to expand your viewpoint, but as you build a New Stronghold. Ooh, that's some juicy mine opportunity. I'll do clerics in case there's undead. Again, I didn't look at my stats. A cleric. Stupid. Okay, well, let's just accept them. And we'll call them John Wick the clerics. Nice hair, dude. So then, once you get your kingdoms going, you have to just pay attention to when you get new... Well, there we go, gold. That's going to be great for them. So, they will be rich pretty quick, but without food and without houses, that won't matter so much. Now, I like to keep a notebook that shows the coordinates in my mines, because the messages fly by so fast that once a mine is excavated completely, it disappears and there's prime building space underneath it. 5621. I'm probably not going to play long enough to need that, but 5621. When that mine expires and the messages are scrolling by and I will have missed it, then I will know where to return to. Then eventually you wait. You wait for your buildings to get built. You wait for time to pass. And I will skip ahead to show you a little bit more meat of the game, like fights and other things like that. But right now, I'm just going to pause the video. Alright, I have progressed a little bit, and now I've got a little more money. I'm going to start trying to find some enemies. And I'll show you a little more about the game. Build a tower. So a tower is going to let you see beyond your normal field of view. And I know that there are enemies down to the southwest right now because I saw one appear on the screen about here, and then it walked away before I was able to see what it was. But as you can see, your kingdom starts to grow over time. Once buildings are built, swamps are cleared, you start to get access and more income to make better buildings and better money. Mine exhausted, 5621, the one that I said I was not going to remember. So you go here, that mine is now exhausted, but the clerics have a nice stack of gold, so we'll build a granary. Because the seasons change, right now I'm currently in the season of summer, and it will go inevitably to winter, where food is sparse, people can starve, and a lot less is going to be available for people. I originally decided to start sending my dwarves up to the mountainous regions here for mines and maybe a better tower position, but they are the poorest of all of my people right now. I said they were best at finding mines, and so far they've done really nothing. My kingdom's still coming along okay, though. Each race has their own unique house and unique buildings. Not every building is unique. Many buildings are shared between the races, but their houses have an individual design and stuff. Like you got the cleric's chamber, or like the elf house. The elves always had the most typical houses to me, the nicest ones. The cleric ones always remind me of like Mexican architecture and stuff. Adobes. Or abode. Yeah, Adobe Acrobat. Anyway, then I already got promoted once. It's 100 city blocks. My people obviously love me. And once we get this tower built, we are going to see, hopefully, some action. So there are two ways to fight in this game. You can actually watch the battle unfold, or you can flip to this world view and stuff. And as a kid, I noticed that there were some units that you want to watch the fight happen, and then there are some where you don't. There's an enemy in this game called the Blast Spore, and when you kill it, it releases a cloud that I believe instantly kills anything else into it. But I figured out when you're a kid, if you're not watching the battle, since it's such a low level enemy and you flip to this view, you don't see your units die, so they tend to not die from the Blast Spore. Is that relevant to a review of this game? Not really, but it's a little tip if you end up playing it. 6820. These mines are all running out. Who do we got? The elves had a mine. See that you have a maximum amount of gold you can hold, which is where you need to What is this? It's a gold mine that's almost complete. We're actually going to salvage this house, get a little gold back, and build a vault because we need more money storage. The elves and the clerics are actually my richest right now. You can also upgrade your stronghold. 2,500 for the keeps, and then your main castle, 7,000 gold points to upgrade. So that one takes a while. And if you build a tower, it'll give you a certain range of squares that it sees, but if you build it on higher ground, it gives that little bit of extra that you can see from. So let's see how this tower is progressing. I could change the build to be complete, but I've readied up a few units because I believe I'm going to assault as soon as I see what the enemy is, unless it's something like a giant 5217. That didn't last long. Build a marketplace so everybody who has a marketplace can share. Oh man, I got a lot of clerics. The clerics are going to be useful in the upcoming fight, I think. Another thing that when units are unassigned, this dot, see how it's nicely in the center of this square? They tend to sit off to the left or right, and that's just OCD for me that I don't like it like that. But I don't have 500 gold. Another weird quirk about me when I played this game as a kid was I wanted to claim the enemy buildings, because you can save some enemies. So the intelligent enemies tend to build houses and farmland and stuff. You can claim them, and since they were a model that my characters didn't have, I wanted them. See how long this tower has left. Still only 60%. Hold down that space bar. Get this tower cooking. Do I have anything here? Yeah. You guys have better money yet? No. Man. Instead of sitting around being ready for battle, I should send them out to fight. Or grow and expand their kingdom. But I want to see 80%. Alright, we're going to spot some enemies here. There we go. Tower's done. Really? Ah, there we go. New enemies. Alright, what do we got? This is the guy I saw. Loyal to obsidian statue. Okay, sometimes these obsidian statues are with a more intelligent enemy, so it'll tell you if they're loyal to, like, the main bad guy's Mind Dark, so you can see when Mind Dark is on the map. What's up here? There it is! Look at that! Blast Spore. So we'll send a cleric up here just so you can see. Yeah, I'm going to send somebody up here to die. Not very great of me, but I'm obviously going to declare war on the blast spores, and they're going to come attack me, but once this cleric gets up here, I'll show you a visual example of what I was talking about. So you can actually watch the fight. And your units are kind of auto-controlled. She's going to go beat it with her club, and... Oh, she didn't die! Wow! Usually it kills them. That only took 1 hit point. Not bad. Well, we're going to sit there. Now that I'm in enemy territory, they're going to start attacking that cleric, and that's how you destroy them, is take over their keep. So we are going to get everybody that I had ready. Oh, yep, she died. The exact opposite of what I said. Watch it, and they die instantly. Switch to this view, and they don't. I should actually do this. I should not... I don't want to send them all to that because they're staggered. They won't show up at the same time. So we'll gather here instead. Sending all ready units. Got some unassigned coming up here that I'll probably just make live up here. Is fall. And this will tell you what chance you have of winning. As your units take damage, the red bar fills up. As they do damage, the white bar fills up. How many people are here? 2 clerics. They both have full hit points, but now they're starting to get more experience. Your units will generate experience over time, even just sitting at home. But this is going to be a nice little battle here. Oh, I got something down there too that showed up. I saw you. But now even if I brought all my units back to the home turf or whatever, 92-22. The only mine you guys had. Oh, now you all of a sudden have money. You can be readied up. And what do we got here? A dwarf that was not ready for the battle. There we go, another mine. See if we can't, no, not farmland. Build a granary and get you. 2810 is the combat, so they're at war. I'll build a little more, then I'll deal with that. Rich clerics. So then you can start to think about other buildings, like a forge. That'll upgrade your weapons. Which again, everything, almost everything can be upgraded in this game. These are the kind of, I always unassign them so they get to the center, then ready, or home them so they stay in the center. These are the kind of visuals that I like, is when you have the land tilted toward you so you can see the whole building. So I'm just going to chop these trees down and build here because I like to see the building, because it's 2.5D or whatever, 6024. Build a scribery, a cleric's office, sure. Alright, 6024 was that? I don't remember. Yeah. So here's the vault. Now I can actually store a little more than normal. Build some farmland. Let's go up here. Look, these people, this is the unassigned people. They're already making home up here on their own. Well, I guess you can do that. Oh, you've got 2,000 as well. So we'll just make a base up here. Build you a vault. And we'll give you a house. Why not? You... the unassigned people just do what they want. Alright, we got a nice cluster of people here. And let's see if the blast spore kills anybody when it gets here. But you can engage in combat. The mages will cast spells. Fighters, depending on their weapon. Archery, swords. Why can I not see the castle anymore? I think it was right here. Alright. It is time to do an assault. And hopefully you can get promoted by either popularity and the amount of city stuff you have. Ah, got the wrong spot. Or you can get promoted by conquering enemies. 6823. Almost a perfect guess. Almost. Just build another marketplace, because now I want to go fight! And I'll watch the fight, just because. Ah, see? There it is. And then a new blast spore takes their place. That's no good. Alright. Let's send them here. I lost 2 fighters because I checked that out. That doo-doo-doo-doo means reinforcements from the enemies arrived. I will watch the fight when this thing goes a little higher, because I don't want to see the blast spores kill me. Because I bet the blast spores... yeah, they just wipe everything out. I should stop watching. So, out of all that, because I looked at it, these people are dead. Now, Computer will try to send his monsters back to this, but whoever you have as the active player, you can have them destroy this and get a nice boost. Since John Wick has a nice vault, we'll destroy that. Do. And there you go. Obviously some enemies are tougher. Blast spores and things like kobolds and stuff are very weak enemies. Always liked this music as a kid. But yes, I didn't switch to John Wick. I kept it as Vecna. Oops. Well, Vecna destroyed it. And now all these people are ready for more battle. But as you call reinforcements and stuff, it's going to pull them from whoever you have on the map that's ready to go. Oh, Dark Thief. Cut purse. So loyal to Evil Thief. Evil Thieves, they're semi-intelligent. They tend to have like golems and stuff with them. And I'll pause, set another force up, and attack another direction, because now you get the idea of the game generally. Build buildings, build units, upgrade units, destroy enemies. Not overly complicated. Those blast spores are now going to make a beeline towards my nearest stronghold. So they are going to probably encounter, attack, and attempt to kill, whoever. Whoever they can. Let's chop this down. Build a tower. Then I will pause the video again and continue my, I guess it's kind of review and gameplay overview. I can't really just call it a review. 8819. Alright, got a tower going. And I shall return. Alright, it is spring. My tower is complete. My kingdom is somewhat expanded a little bit. Guess we'll just send some stuff into upgrade mode. Can even upgrade your trees that you claim. Build bigger forests and stuff. But that's not why we're here. We're here to end this review with some war. Now, I haven't looked at any of these enemies yet, but as you can see, they are all over. I know one of them is kobolds because I was attacked by them. There's that obsidian guard. What is this? Giant toad. The only drawback to this game is that not every enemy has a portrait like your characters have portraits. Loyal to giant toad. So we got some giant toads. We got down here more obsidian statues. We got 2 towers of obsidian statues, or just one giant one, I don't know. Take a look at what's down here. Oh man, scorpions. These things are awful. His head looks like 2 loaves of bread. We'll just say that. And griffin? Well, it's a griffin. Okay, so we got some tougher creatures down this area. Now this portrait of these guys is classic. I'll bleed you, turkey. And now we've got their houses, which for some reason is obsessed with claiming those little thatch huts. What's down here? No spoilers. Oh, that's the man scorpion. Nope, that's goblin. See, not a typical looking goblin. I like that this game just didn't have the stupid, dynamite obsessed, pointy-eared green guy as the goblin. That's a neat looking goblin. Looks more like a typical orc would look, but still cool. So we've got them. Then here's the evil thieves, which they usually have, skeletons and stuff with them. And here's where you can see what happens when you don't have money and stuff. Their buildings just decay, and I would like rush to save those buildings because I wanted them. But they have their little hut. Then my tower also uncovered stuff up here. Giant ant. Also not a very easy creature to kill. And there's their hive. Something here. Flying. Cockatrice. So there's, in a hostile world, there's stuff all over the place. There's probably even more enemies down in those mountains or whatever. But I prepared a force, and I'm going to do an assault here. I don't really have too many elves. Got a few fighters. A lot of dwarves. So we're just going to send them all here. And we'll watch the battle unfold. And that is how I will end the review of this game, because this game is not very expensive. It's probably got more depth than I showed, but it's just a kingdom management game. And you fight, you conquer, you upgrade, and you keep going. Eventually your units upgrade, and they actually get a different portrait and different sprite model and stuff, just depending on how long they survive. Alright. So we come in swinging. We should be able to take these bozos. Those clerics will handle those skeletons, no problem. Like, see, here's an upgraded enemy thief. He probably has the same portrait, but he's 4th level. He's got a little helmet on. You can tell he's a different... But, whatever level he is, he dies just the same. I swept these guys, no problem. Alright, so now who's... As their stronghold is occupied by me, they're going to start sending units to it. And it'll also still spawn units, but not likely. It's not likely. They're not getting this back. I'm dug in. But now, who's the poorest? Let's see. We can do... Vecna's got 1,046. Wizbo Spellbanger's almost 2,000. Hulk is almost 2,000. Derek is sitting pretty at almost 3,000. Ooh, well, there we go. We will take that and destroy that stronghold. Now, I should have actually occupied this a little longer, because now all these guys are going to go not to this spot any longer, but to toward my castle. Alright. So we are going to... We're just going to leave you here. New owner. Doesn't need to be repaired, which is nice. You can also take over their farms. And then you can expand your kingdom even further. You can, these ones are pre-upgraded, these houses here that computer had built. So let's send someone there to go get them. They already start to fall into disrepair. We'll just leave you here. New owner, then you can repair them. Those were upgraded plots too. This one's not upgraded. Alright. There you go. That's this game. I love this game. I played this game for many hours growing up, and I still have my original CD, which I don't think anything... It doesn't work with anything anymore. Should send it to LGR. Give it to Lazy Game Reviews. See if he could... His reviews are much better than mine. Mine are improvised. I end up playing the game. I get distracted. I talk about things that aren't even about the game. But... This was just a preview, a little taste of the game. There's a lot more depth to it than I let on, I believe, which I it already said. And eventually you can check your special buildings out. See, I still can't build those. Like arenas, the arena is like a 4-spot building. You can do Builder's Hall, which will repair buildings automatically, etc., etc. You can focus on what you want to do, recruiting, training. There's more information. You can set it to auto-build, which puts this little nugget or whatever, and units will just build whatever they think the city needs. And, or I guess just houses. You can do a census. You can see the population of units that you have, what level they are. You can check out your property. You can see the castles, builders' halls, level 3 buildings, etc. You can do, I guess, a total census. This is everybody, not just your active party. And then, of course, you have tips, tricks, and other things that the game will teach you. What to do in winter. Winter is usually when most of your people spawn out because people are dying and they need shelter and food and they go explore. Eventually, you can conquer all these enemies, and sometimes, depending on the difficulty you set it on, there's a second wave of enemies, and that's when you take on Mindark. When you defeat Mindark, usually you win, unless you're like me, where you are playing on neutral and you have to get the rank of Emperor, and destroy all enemies. So, yeah, look at these guys are sweeping across the battlefield now, but I just don't fear them. Evil Thief isn't too dangerous. They might kill some of these low-level stragglers that are out here living on their own on the frontier. Nope. They're going to gather here, and it'll be a straight line. They're going for this castle here. They're going for Hulk's house. So, but that is Stronghold from Strategic Simulations, Inc. And it is a game from the 1990s. City builder. I wouldn't really call it an RPG because you're not really picking more than their initial stats. But a game that I think is worth checking out, and I believe it is less than $5. So I'll have to check that out before I end this. I think it's worth the money. I think it's worth the time. And we will see. What am I doing here? Just a straight line down. What was I doing? What were my people? Vecna, Marston, Sticky Jim, Logan. Not Wolverine. That's Logan after Logan Ninefingers from Joe Abercrombie's books. And Gimlick the Dwarf. Nice. Well, I hope this was somewhat informative. I think it's worth checking out.